circle of rat back and I'm going and leaving tracks and mourning. And I don't give a crap whether you streaming, you torrent this. You can try to contest, but you'll be needing an army. Beat them in Normandy, current rappers eat to the warning stone.
Welcome to 3Con Commentaries. So this episode of Smackdown was very low on Roman Reigns this week. There wasn't a lot of Roman this week. So we started the show with a parade of champions. And we'll talk about that in another video. There's at least 2 other videos when we got to talk about the parade of champions. And from this, we got Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman comes out and he says that this is a parade of title holders. You know, the Intercontinental Champion's there, the Women's Tag Team Champion, the Women's Champion, the Intercontinental Champion, they're all out there. He says this is a parade of title holders. Roman Reigns is not a title holder. He's the preeminent champion of all of sports entertainment, the preeminent champion in the entire business, the only champion. So we will have a parade of champion later in the show. I thought this was very good. Also, I was kind of like, oh, okay, you know, he came out to Roman's old theme. So, all right, they kept the old theme for Paul Heyman. Okay, that's fine. I loved Paul Heyman's promo. It was very good. I like that he's, you know, Roman's a step above. He doesn't want to be out there on the stage with the rest of them goobers. And plus, it pretty much devolved into lunacy a little bit later anyway. But, so from there, we get Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso is once again talking about being tag team partners with Jay and coming out there. He want to fight the Street Profits. That's his plan. His plan is to fight the Street Profits. And Jay is like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? You know, I don't know nothing about this tag team match. And Jimmy once more says that you don't need Roman. Roman don't need you. You won the Andre the Memorial Battle Royal by yourself. He beat Cesaro by himself. Y'all don't need each other. I need you. You my brother. We need to team up, fight the Street Profits. And then Jay was like, look, let me run that by Roman. He goes to Roman with this idea. You know, he said, like, look, we got this match with the Street Profits. He's like, we. Roman's like, we. And his sweet tracksuit. Now he got his own tracksuit. But even more important than that, he got his own logo. The man is the logo. He done turned himself into a logo. That's really cool. I noticed that a lot of people have kind of noticed that The Rock had his own set of tracksuits too. So they're kind of continuing with the parallels between him and The Rock to some degree. Of course, they're wildly different characters, but they're trying to keep people, you know, that The Rock is in the back of people's minds when it comes to Roman Reigns and potential matches and potential matchups and potential storylines and things of that nature. But to sweep into that, Roman says, like, we is the tribal chief and the right-hand man. That's we. We got each other's back. Everything we do is for the family. And he says we do it for each other. That's we. We are the real we. Obviously, he's being very manipulative. You know, because Jay is not going to let Jimmy fight by himself. So now he's whispering in Jay's ear, being very conniving. He's pretty clever, this Roman Reigns. He's whispering in this man's ear all types of stuff. So earlier in the show, Roman had, you know, didn't even really talk. He let Paul Heyman do the talking. Let Paul Heyman acknowledge him and all the things that he's done. And, you know, running the Fiend off of Smackdown, humanizing the monster among men, the retiring Daniel Bryan, retiring Edge, stacking Edge and Daniel Bryan on top of each other, KO and all this sort of stuff that they had him doing. And they did a good job of telling the story with Roman, where he's basically been this unstoppable badass at this point. And we're kind of sitting back figuring out what his next match is, but it's obviously going to end up being Jimmy. So to that point, we need to discuss the Jimmy Uso situation, because the Jimmy Uso situation is parallel to the Jey Uso situation, right? Remember, if you go back to Jey Uso around Clash of Champions, Jey Uso was all about himself. Why can't I be the tribal chief? Why can't I be the head of the table? Why can't I be the guy? Why can't I be the man? You know, I could do that too. I got those abilities too. And Roman was like, no, this is just too much responsibility for you. You don't know nothing about this. And now Jimmy is telling him, like, look, we don't need him. We don't need Roman. But the overall theme in both of those things is that Roman is trying to say what I do is for the family, the bigger picture. What you're trying to do is for yourself. It's a personal goal, right? You personally want to be the Universal Champion, Jay. That's why you want to fight me for the title, because you personally want to be the Universal Champion. You think you can be the man. It's all about you. Where I'm all about we. You're all about you. And now Jimmy is doing the same thing. Jimmy, Roman is like, we are the family. We do things for each other. You're the right-hand man. You help me out. I help you out. We do that. Jimmy is trying to come in between us. Therefore, if you take it to Roman's logical conclusion, Jimmy's going to try to break up the family. Jimmy is being selfish. He's got a personal goal to be a tag team champion with his brother again at the expense of the family. He's got to go. Right? He's got to go. And eventually this thing is, they got 5 weeks. So what I'm guessing is going to happen is we're going to get the Usos versus the Street Profits, which should be big. That should be a huge match, and it's pretty much the biggest match the Usos can do right now. But it's probably not going to happen. I'm seeing that Jimmy's going to go out there and Jay's not going to show. Or they'll probably do something slick like Jay goes out there and they wrestle like half the match, and then Roman kind of pulls the leash and like, let's go. We out of here. Just forget him. We out of here. And he probably pulls Jay into leaving. And that's going to be the inciting incident to get Jimmy to fight Roman. So Jimmy has been avoiding the big fight with Roman. When Roman kind of presses him, he kind of backs down a little bit, like, whatever. He even says stuff under his breath. He's been very confrontational with Jay, but he hasn't been so confrontational with Roman. But I think that if Roman does pull the cord, the leash, let's say, on Jay next week, and the Usos lose, or Jimmy loses, that's going to be the inciting incident for Jimmy to say, I can't get my brother back until I defeat Roman, until I go through Roman. He's going to have to force Jay to make a decision. And that's going to define the Usos' character. And that's probably going to be how they break up. Maybe not even fighting each other, but Jimmy trying to fight Roman and Jay standing in the middle. Like, no, that's not going to happen. And then we may even have to take it to the next level where we do have to have Jay fight Jimmy. And feeling like he has to fight Jimmy because it's the bigger picture, right? Like, Jay Uso is really trapped in this position. And this is such a brilliant storytelling device, because it's almost the exact same storytelling device that they pulled last year, where Jay was trapped in between his personal wants and what might be better for the family, and in losing to Roman and saying I quit, the decision was made. He had to choose the family. Now in this situation, his literal brother, blood brother, is the antagonist in this situation, because Jimmy comes back, he's antagonizing Jay, he's also getting in Roman's face. What is Jay going to do? So it's the same conundrum Jay was in before. Do I side with Roman and do the right thing for the family, or do I take my personal stance and ride off with my brother and we do those tag team thing? That's man, whoever's putting this together is doing a really good job, because Jay Uso has progressed, but he's still consistently a guy torn in between what should be top level allegiances between personal goals and his family responsibilities. And it's a great decision. It's watching him. They need to really, I guess, bring that out of him more, by letting him, stew on this subject, just showing Jay just like, pacing and stuff like that. Like, we're getting a lot out of him being kind of bullied by Jimmy And that's the only thing I have. I really don't like is because you got Jay getting bullied by both Roman and Jimmy. You know, he's just kind of getting pushed around. Jimmy's constantly calling him a bitch, and Roman's constantly, disrespecting him and pushing him off and, waving him off and everything. And it's like, I get it. It adds dimensions to the characters in so much that in 1 minute, Roman is very protective of Jay and he's trying to look out for him and everything is about us. And then, there's times when Roman's feeling himself and he don't got to deal with Jay, so he don't. But then you got Jimmy who's doing the same thing basically. It's 1 minute I need Jay, that's my better half or whatever. On the next point, what are you, a bitch? What are you, his lapdog? What do you do, his laundry? The disrespect from both of them is crazy, but it adds dimensions, I should say, to all of the characters involved. So this has been pretty good, even though there was not as much bloodline this week. It was still pretty good. But, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like the video, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.
Old non-aggression. Once that lesson sets in, you'll see a session where you got an affection for no progression, regression. The best